In a sleepy, small-town airfield, where propellers spin lazily in the summer heat, a quiet man named Ethan works alone. Surrounded by vintage planes and a sea of tools, he's a fixture here, known only as the humble mechanic. He rarely speaks, his hands always busy, his focus unwavering. For the weekend pilots who frequent the field, Ethan is just part of the scenery, an ordinary worker they barely notice. "Hey buddy, try not to scratch my plane this time," one pilot calls out with a smirk, tossing his keys in the air. Ethan doesn't flinch. He never does. He just tightens a bolt with practiced precision, his face a mask of calm concentration. He cleans engine parts with a gentle touch, treating each machine with a respect that borders on love. But his quiet dedication goes unnoticed. Behind his back, the jokes continue. "He probably doesn't even understand half the machines here," another pilot scoffs to his friend. They see a simple mechanic, and they have no idea how wrong they are. Then, one afternoon, the familiar hum of the airfield is broken by the sound of an engine they've never heard before. A sleek black car glides onto the gravel path, its presence immediately drawing every eye. A man in a sharp suit steps out, his expression serious, his gaze sweeping over the small crowd of pilots. He isn't here for them. He walks with purpose, his destination clear, the small workshop where Ethan is polishing a propeller. The pilots exchange confused glances. The man stops before Ethan. "Sir," he says, his voice low but firm, "we need you at the main hangar. The engine project you designed is failing. Only you can fix it." A stunned silence falls over the airfield. The pilots freeze, their casual conversations dying on their lips. You designed an engine?" One of them whispers, his voice barely audible. Ethan slowly wipes the grease from his hands with a cloth. He looks at the man and gives a single nod. "Okay," he says calmly. "Let's go." As Ethan walks toward the waiting car, the pilots stare in disbelief, their minds racing. "Wait, he's not just a small-town mechanic?" one asks, his jaw slack. "He works on real engine systems?" another murmurs, watching the scene unfold. Before Ethan gets into the car, the man in the suit turns slightly, his voice now loud enough for everyone to hear. "He isn't a normal mechanic. He created the power system our entire fleet relies on. Without him, nothing moves." The words hang in the air, heavy and undeniable. The pilots' faces fall, their earlier arrogance replaced with a look of pure astonishment. Their mouths are literally hanging open. The car pulls away, carrying Ethan toward a different world. He never told anyone what he really does. He didn't need the validation or the applause. For him, real work, true skill, should speak for itself. The car arrives at a massive hidden hangar, a secret hub of advanced technology. Inside, a team of anxious engineers and technicians stands waiting. As Ethan enters, a path clears for him, a wave of respect parting the crowd. They know who he is. They know his genius. He walks straight to the colossal, malfunctioning engine. He doesn't speak. He just listens. His hand rests on the cold metal surface as if feeling its pulse. Then he begins to work. It's a blur of motion, fast, precise, and confident. He adjusts valves, checks complex wiring, and analyzes data on a diagnostic device. Sparks fly as his tools move with a life of their own. The team watches in silent awe, witnessing a master at his craft. Within minutes, the stuttering machine roars to life, its powerful hum smooth and steady. A soft ripple of applause breaks the silence. "Sir," one of the lead engineers says, "you saved the day." Again, Ethan offers a small, rare smile. Back at the small-town airfield, the sun begins to set, casting long shadows across the runway. The pilots are still gathered, staring at the empty space where the black car had been. "We called him just a mechanic," one of them whispers, shaking his head. "Wow, we had no idea." Later that evening, Ethan returns just as quietly as he left. He heads back to his workshop, ready to finish his day. But this time, the pilots approach him, their demeanor completely changed. There's no more mockery, only respect. "We misjudged you," one of them says, his voice sincere. "We're sorry." Ethan looks up from his work, his expression gentle. "It's okay," he replies softly. "Everyone learns at their own time." The story ends with Ethan sitting alone in the twilight, peacefully working on a small engine. He never needed their praise or their apologies. All he ever needed was a machine to fix. Never underestimate the quiet ones. The ones who work with their heads down and their hands busy. Their skills, their passion, and their true impact might just astound you. Thanks for watching.